make sure that we onboard them, because you can get caught up in a lot of minutia. And then there's the mind of the new agent that's timid or, potentially fearful of what may or may not take place. How did you guys get through that? What are some of the things you put in place for that?
I think kind of just setting out expectations from day one is super important to kind of know exactly the timetable and what's going to be happening next.
Correct.
So the new agent comes in and they pass their, they study for their test, or maybe they're already licensed. They fill out contracting. From that point, what we have them do is basically start boot camp training, which is just an online, like teachable kind of like chapter quizzes kind of deal. On basically A through Z. It's more focused on telesales now than it is in-home. Mm-hmm. So the expectation is you do that the same day. It's going to take you a day or two and no more than 2 days. So you finish that. And ideally, the way it's set up is you do contracting, you finish boot camp, let's say in 2 days. Well, that second day or maybe the next day, you should be having 1 or 2 carriers, maybe 3 or 4, come back and approve you.
Nice.
And so we've always been fans. We learned it from Sean. And others of like, you don't have to wait till you have all your 7 or 8 main carriers. So the whole goal is after they go through that and they get their first, second, or third carrier, it's like, hey, well, like we're ready to go now. And so from there we do something called an onboarding or lead strategy call. And basically what we do is we go through role play the script. From there we talk about like device setup. So setting up phone burner, Zipo, whatever they're using for like texting, calling, etc. How to put leads in a phone burner, etc. Mm-hmm. So we go through that, and then also we share our screen of the CRM and basically kind of devise like a lead strategy. Like, hey, this is how it works. This is how you find these. This is what internet leads are, direct mail, social media, etc. And then depending on their budget and also like what their setup is like, because if we have a full-time agent that has $1,000 plus to spend in leads for the first purchase, mm-hmm. that lead strategy is a lot different than someone who's part-time and they got off work at 5 p.m. at night and they have $250. It's way different. And so really customizing that plan, and then basically on the call like, hey, let's buy leads, because for me, especially for a lot of new agents, actually most new agents, I think the hang up between them going through training and writing their first policy typically is they just don't buy leads because they're fearful, just like everyone. Sure. It's new, it's scary. And so getting the leads right then, and then, depending on the time, either that day or the next day, like they're getting on Zoom, they're unmuting, cameras on, and they're calling people and getting the feedback right away.
And then another part of the onboarding process is because we have our Zoom going on all day, every day, we have that newest agent getting on Zoom and watching at least 10 presentations. That way they kind of are already prepped and warmed up to what they're going into as far as a dial day.
Got it.